Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. It is Throwback Thursday, so I have pulled in the go-to greetings off my shelf so that we can add a greeting to this card. We've, of course, got our Natural Botanicals set, which is what we're using this week, and I'm also pulling in the elements of text. So this kind of falls in the category of like bit of grunge, bit of junk journaling. It's just layering up ink and stamps and that, and creating this super cute birthday card. So this one I've got on a Flirty Flamingo card base, and the one we're going to build today, I'm going to put on a, what am I doing? Berry Burst, sorry, Berry Burst. I've got 4 different pinks going on here. So we're going to start with our elements of text, and we're going to bring in our basic gray second value. So we're going to stamp that off, and then we're going to stamp it down on here. And then we're going to do that same thing again. And we're just going to stamp it up over here. So we've got some elements of text going on there. On this example, I use Smoky Slate, and I wanted it to show up just that little bit darker. So I've gone ahead and done it in the second value of basic gray this time. So we're going to pull in Bubble Bath. We're going to do blends. We're going to blend color with 4 different ink pads. So we're going to come in with our Bubble Bath, and we're just going to add some color, and it just layers everything up. We're just layering color on color on color with this one. So we're just going to do that. And then I'm going to come in with the Pretty in Pink. We're going to do exactly the same thing. We're just going to come in. We're just going to add a little bit more color in. And it's okay if it's blotchy. If it's blotchy, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Okay, so we've got that done. Now I'm going to come in with the Petunia Pop. I don't know how juicy your Petunia Pop stamp pad is. Mine is really juicy. So I'm just going to tap it in, and then I'm going to work a lot of it off and then come in onto the card, because otherwise it's a lot. See, we've got a little bit of a lot going on there. So we're just going to keep coming in and adding that color. Now I'm just going to come in and I'm going to layer up some Berry Burst on top of that. And then we're going to add our ink. And every time you do this, it will look slightly different. That's kind of the beauty of doing these, is it just depends how the ink hits the paper. And keeping in mind too, that when the ink is wet, it's a little bit darker than when it is dry. And I'm just going to pull this a little bit, see if I can blend that out a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to start adding our stamps. And I'm using 4 stamps from the set, and I'm doing them all in the shades of pink. Now these are going to be second value. This one I did first value, and I thought it was just a little bit harsh. So we're going to do second value, and we're just going to follow this circle around, and I'm trying to line up the stem so that it looks like it fits naturally in between a couple of the leaves. And we're just going to keep coming around second value like that. So now I'm going to also come in with the single leaf, still in the Berry Burst. I'm not stamping anything with the Petunia Pop because it is just so juicy, and I don't really want to pull too much of that in. Again, we're doing second value here, and I'm just going to add just a little bit, and then one up there like that. Okay, so now I'm coming in with the Pretty in Pink. So I've got Pretty in Pink and the Coneflower or Daisy, whatever you'd like to call it, Echinacea, I'm not entirely sure what it is. This is first value, and I'm just going to stamp it down like this. I'm not using the stem on this one. I'm just stamping kind of right up to there. So then I'm going to come in down here as well. And I'll do another one kind of over here. Again, layering, layering, layering all of those pieces together. So we'll do another one there. And I'm going to come in with the Pretty in Pink last. It's very, very light, very subtle. It just kind of fills in some of those empty spaces or lighter spaces. If you stamp it on the darker ink, you probably won't even see it. But what it does is it just gives you just that little bit of subtle pattern kind of in the background. And it just adds a little bit to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my basic gray at full value and stamp the happy birthday. This is always tricky for me because these are cling stamps, not photopolymer. So lining them up is a bit of a challenge. So I'm just going to see where I'm at as far as the bottom of the paper here. Okay, so we're good. If I hold the stamp relatively straight, then I'll be good to go. So we're just going to stamp that down like that. So we've got our happy birthday going on. It blends in. Now this one stands out a little bit more because I did it with the smoky slate background. This one is done with the basic gray in second value. So if you want your happy birthday to really pop, use smoky slate. Otherwise, it really kind of pulls in that grunge piece, or stamp somewhere where it's a little bit lighter. But I still really quite like that. So again, when you come to do these, you absolutely do whatever you would like to do. Now, I'm going to come in with my Wink of Stella, and I am going to just splatter some Wink of Stella on the card just to add a little bit of that kind of grunge flick kind of idea. And I want a little bit over here. There we go. So we're just going to do that for a little bit and put all of that away. And what I'm going to do with this, because it's a little bit wet from the Wink of Stella, I'm going to bring in my, did I do Melon Mambo or did I do, you know what? I did Melon Mambo for the card base on this one. Yes, I did Melon Mambo for the card base, so that's okay. It wasn't Berry Burst. That's why I was confused. We're using Melon Mambo for the card base because the Berry Burst was a little bit dark. So I'm just going to add some adhesive right to the front of my card, making sure I'm leaving room for the borders. And then we're just going to drop this down like that. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of tap it down. But that is our card using the Natural Botanicals, the Retired Go-To Greetings, and the Elements of Text. So let me know in the comments whether you prefer the softer look of the Flirty Flamingo or if you prefer the more bold with the Melon Mambo and the basic gray in second value. I quite like this one, but I'm actually leaning towards the softer look of the smoky slate. So you let me know which one you prefer, and let's create together again soon.